Hi, good morning, guys. It's Patty with AZ and Associates, and I wanted to come out and wish you guys a happy, blessed, and wonderful Friday morning, and also to share with you regarding the things that stop you from growing into your true potential. And the biggest and only real obstacle that stops you from creating everything that you believe in your mind you want to do is ourselves. And so for me, it's been like trying to get out of my own way has been, one of the biggest focuses. It's how we can shift our mindset to believe that you're capable of every success in the world, that you're capable of achieving anything that you want to do, because you're no different than anybody else, and your circumstances, your upbringing, where you were born, are irrelevant. And a lot of times we psych ourselves. We try to tell ourselves that those things are the things. Good morning, Marina, my love. Come on with me. That a lot of those things that we've been born and raised believing. Give me a second. That we've been in they're just agreements that have been embedded in our brain to kind of tell me that you were born and raised in East LA. Good morning. I'm so excited to bring you on, my friend. I love you so much, Marina. Sorry, guys. I'm inviting my friend Marina, who I love dearly. She's my ride or die.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm like, let me put on Facebook and I see you live. I'm like, oh my goodness, my
Let's go
corazón is
live.
on.
Yeah. So what is one of the biggest things that stops you from growing, or from what's your biggest fear?
Oh my goodness. One of my biggest fears, I think that honestly is like if I achieve something, then I'm then required to achieve more, and like a never ending like stop to it, and I'm like, well, why am I achieving all these things? And then I stop myself, and I know that that's not our end goal or whatever it is, because then we don't let ourselves shine, and we don't let everyone else around us shine.
Okay.
And it definitely like that fear of like achieving.
Success?
Yes. Yes.
Then
And then
would you feel like if you were successful, then you owe people something?
yes, that comes up sometimes, and um, I think that like, and I think that I overcame that a little bit, because I really got clear as to it'd be my will to give if I do decide to give, right? And uh, what else? It's just it's I think it's I like the fact that we're in a world of discovery, like the fact that we have um whatever we got from landmark and everything, but in a world of discovery, discovering what's in our way. And I think that every day I kind of sort of discover what was there in the past, and kind of stops me,
Yeah.
and allows me to break through whatever it is that stops me in a moment. um it's sometimes the most stupidest little thing that comes up like stops me, and I don't want to do things, like questioning myself, like why am I doing this, why am I not, um you know why should I push myself so hard? It's like a never ending process. But I think through that, what I discovered is it's not so much for myself, it's for like my kids, you know?
Right.
But they see me being someone who's great, who's powerful, and who could achieve anything.
Yeah.
And they have the permission to do that, you know? And I think that in the end, as the parent, that's the only thing that you want to do is kind of have that freedom for them, so they are able to do whatever it is that they want, you know? And I think that's the only reason why that questioning and that concern and fear kind of like, okay, now I can put it aside and keep going, and I need to do what I need to do, you know?
And that's amazing that you bring up the kids like that, because for me, it was a constant doubt of who I truly am capable of being. And then I see like my son, and I think I really need to perform, not just for myself, but so that he can see that, there's really no limitation. Like, you're really able to create everything and anything that you want to create for yourself. So, um, I have to discredit like all of those negative beliefs in my mind about me not being able to do it. Like, there's not enough hours in the day. Like, I have 5 kids, I have a granddaughter. It's like I have like a million and one excuses, but the reality is those excuses are not for anybody else. They're for me to try to justify why I'm falling off my track, and they're
Yeah.
not even valid, because at the end of the day, it's like, there's so many people that have discovered, um, success by their own measure, and they've had like circumstances that are way, more, maybe difficult, um, and yet they've still been able to achieve like what greatness is in their eyes, and so like I know that our mission here, or the legacy that we're trying to leave behind, is not one of economical, fortune, or um, for me, it's just creating in my children the belief that they can, that
Yeah.
that everything
That's
is at their fingertips
possible.
so long as, yeah. And
Yeah.
so I know that, as being in real estate, what I was present to last night was that, you know, yes, the money's amazing and the money's great, but what you
It's not
get
about
to create with it, like what you get to create for people and finding them a home, and and just how much joy they get. This is just one of the biggest purchases for most people. And sometimes we die and we don't get to buy a house, or sometimes we buy one and we live there forever, and that's amazing. But just being a part of that. And so
yeah.
last night, just in conversation, what kept coming up for me is like how much I love real estate, and it's just because of my capacity to be able to see like a home transform from something that's been like beat up, run down, into something just amazing, and that makes me giddy and makes me really, really happy. And so um, I've never really been in as much belief as with everybody would tell you, you do what you love, and then the money comes with it after, and I realize that I love waking up in the morning. I feel blessed every single day that we get up and then we have an opportunity to just come back out and recreate and create and meet amazing people, and just be in conversation all day long. And I love to talk.
Yeah.
But it's just like, how do you, and how it affects like your world in every aspect. You, Marina, as a wife, as a woman, as a mother, as a business owner. It's just like you're just an amazing human being, and I love you, and I love you for everything that you inspire in people. And I just want to say that I'm sure it's no mistake that you were live and I was live.
I love it too. And I think like what you said about like leaving legacy and everything. Recently, while we were fixing the house, my brother was telling me, he's like, "Do you know like this is mom's dream come true? Like the fact that you have a home." It's just
Yeah, yeah. Because at the end of the day, we want that for our children, right? Like, we want it for our children. I'm sure our parents want that for us, and just to be able to materialize it. How do you create that, like, for your kids, and for so that they're able to do the same for their children? But they only get to see that by example. So when we're being nasty and, when we're not being responsible with ourselves, and, our kids absorb that. Like, they will always watch that. They will always, they will become that. And unless they're aware and conscious, they won't know how to even break that. And then, we say, I don't do as I say, not as I do, because mama's busy partying at the bar, getting drunk, or not being responsible with her work, not fulfilling in her true commitments, and then we wonder why our kids, we're their role model. Like, how we speak to them is everything, with the voice of love is everything to them. It just really can change the outcome to anything. And I believe that, and I've seen it, and I'm like living proof of that, I could yell at my daughter to get things done. I think by getting the louder I yell, the faster she'll do it.
Yeah.
That's not true. I don't think it's ever worked,
She will resist the end. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
And I could definitely do that.
Yeah. So just being in communication, just in communication of love, and coming out here, and I'm so happy that you're in your new home. I love you so much.
I'm gonna give you. It's a mess. It's a mess still. I'll have to clean it up.
I get it.
We're still unpacking, but it's a beautiful journey, and I love it. I love that you're in my life and part of my journey. I love you. How I say it, corazón.
All right. All right. I love you so much. Have an amazing day. I'll see you in a while. Crocodile.
I love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.